Hi, guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I was wanted to share some unpopular K-pop opinions from the site Reddit. My unpopular Kpop. These opinions aren't my own, but the opinions used will be the main focus of today's video. I will add my own intake and response to my opinions. I also made sure to pick out juicy opinions and opinions that were able to think outside the box. If you guys understands what I mean. Anyways, with that all being said, if you're interested, and I mean super interested to know my opinions, like and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. And now let's begin with the video. Reddit opinion number 1. Lisa is a better singer than Jennie IMO. I just prefer Lisa's voice to Jennie's singing voice. When Jennie sings, I feel as if she shouts the lyrics too much, and it can become overwhelming and hard on the ears. Although I do believe she is a good singer, especially at her lower register, Jennie is a better rapper than Lisa. Jennie's flow is better than Lisa's IMO. And Jennie's D4 rap verse is one of my favorite pop rap verses. Lisa isn't a bad rapper, though by any means. Her verse on Kill This Love, D4, etc. is fine, but I just prefer Jennie's rap style more than Lisa's. Rose's voice is fine. We don't know for sure if Rose's voice is really fake or not right now. She could have changed it for herself. We don't know if Ig made her change it. Jisoo is severely underrated, and I hope it changes. Also, a Jisoo rap verse in a song. Heard her rapping Jennie's part in a video and she isn't bad at all. I'd love to see it for fun. Okay, so this opinion has quite a few valid points. Singing wise, no offense, Blackpink aren't very vocally strong. But I do think Jennie is slightly better than Lisa. I think this is obvious from her having quite a few singing lines recently. Whereas Lisa has more rap verses. I understand though Jennie's voice isn't for everyone, and I agree. In certain songs it sounds like she's straining and bellowing a little. I think for certain songs they don't mesh too well. Also, rap-wise I think they're both fine. As it is, Jennie sounds better and hopefully more rap lines will be given to her in the future. Also, Jisoo is quote-unquote underrated within the context of their fandom. But she definitely has some love, maybe not as much as Jennie or Lisa, but still there. Blackpink is a popular group and I don't think to be the least popular member is an inherent problem. Regarding Rose's voice, I honestly think this topic has been brought up so many times. It's such a large umbrella topic and has such a large pigeonhole of opinions, speculations and theories. To keep this short and concise, Rose sings in her high-pitched indie girl voice in most of BP songs. I do think hearing her lower register would be cool, but truthfully, it's ironic how a clip of her singing from decades ago is still talked about when there's no other material to base off. Some fans also use it as a reason to prove she's faking her voice. But we don't know as fans and it's counterproductive. As far as I know of her showing off her quote-unquote deeper voice has only been shown not very frequently. Her current voice is probably not very healthy nor sustainable. But this is Ig. I think her voice is fine and some fans are overdoing it and demanding the company let her use her real voice. Those fans are being ridiculous. Rose uses her Halsey-esque voice and it's fine and works just about okay for the time being. Itzy has one of, if not the best discographies of the fourth-generation girl group. While the clunky, loud, and abrasive sounds may be uncomfortable for some people, the way it's arranged makes for some truly chaotic vibes that can energize the listener. I also like how the songs are both experimental and refreshing at the same time. My problem with most experimental songs in Kpop is that they largely involve connecting a loose string of random songs that don't make for a cohesive sound. But Itzy's songs are a great balance between chaotic and cohesive. Some people complain about the innocuous lyrics, but in the realm of hyperpop, well-written lyrics are not a priority. You just need to get your message across while making sure your lyrics coincide with main beat of the song. Compared to other groups, they are truly changing the musical landscape by introducing some largely underground sounds that are not even mainstream in America, where I come from. Obviously, this is with the help of some brilliant producers like Sophie and Oliver Heldens. What also makes them distinct and great is how they constantly borrow elements from the Y2K era of music and reinvent them, such as the runway-esque vibes on Ting Ting Ting. The best way to make your music long-lasting and memorable is not to chase current musical trends, like tropical house, but to take the ones from the past, the good ones of course, and clean them up for a modern sound. That's what makes Itzy's music the most innovative compared to their contemporaries. Lastly, their albums are extremely cohesive and well planned. It's not like they shove a random ballad for the sake of it. They are more mellowed songs to counter the chaotic nature of the tracklist on Itzy, but they are still sonically similar and don't detract from the overall vibe of the album. The only complaints I have is that their projects are too short and some of the vocal performances could use a little more confidence. But overall, they're amazing. Okay, well, I think you guys know what I'm going to say regarding this opinion. I may be severely biased as I love Itzy. And Itzy is my alt group in general, but this post makes so much sense and summed up how I feel about Itzy's amazing music. This post was perfectly executed and honestly perfectly highlighted the reasons why Itzy's music appeals to me so much. I loved this post when I saw it and just hats off to Op. Mid's eyes are crazy talented and what a perfect way to advertise the girls and their versatile music. Anyways, like I was saying before, I agree Itzy music is superb and if you guys want any recommendations, Surf, ID, Be in Love, That's a No-No, and Cherry are Itzy's K-pop B-side perfection. Itzy's music is such a bop, and their songs are always high quality and top tier. But then again Itzy loves to serve, as they've been serving since debut. Queenish. Izyn is one of my alt groups, and I would give anything for them to become a permanent group. But it would be completely unfair to any other group formed by Produce. IOI and 101 fans also wanted those groups to be permanent ones, as much as Wizen's did. Don't you think it would be completely unfair to both the groups and the fans? I agree. Quite frankly, I don't see as many pros staying as a group people as much I thought I would. I understand the sentiment and I do think many Wizens may not have any ill intent, but it's not going to happen. And I'm sure we're all aware of this. Izyn from day dot were set to have a temporary contract. And I think holding on to false hope isn't the wisest choice to make, as that leads to having high expectations over something that most likely will never happen. That being said, Izyn have accomplished a whole lot since debut and I'm sure once their inevitable disbandment comes around, the members will be able to look back at the achievements while they were still active in the group. Generally speaking, Produce groups in general are all temporary, and Izyn shouldn't be any different. I wish all the girls the best, and I think fans should continue to support the group. Trending hashtags and making TWT threads is counterproductive. But yeah, that's where I stand. Blackpink are unrelatable. I am in no way trying to say that I hate the girls or blame them for the way they are, I just simply don't like the way IG presents the girls to the public. Sometimes it is hard to feel connected to them. I bet all of you know the stereotypical popular girls you see in those movies that everyone wants to be and are loved by many. BP are the popular girls in Kpop, and they are managed in a way you can't really relate to them, which is in some cases isn't bad, because there is always going to be a barrier between idols and fans, like don't compare yourself to me, I am better than you type of thing. Their lives always seem to be so fun and perfect. I mean, all of them are beautiful, rich, fashionable, famous, they get to travel the world and have tours, they even get to meet other celebrities like Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Dua Lipa etc. And on Instagram, they are always modeling for brands or something expensive. I'm neutral on this opinion and I disagree in the sense that's it's part of their appeal. The whole you can't touch us attainable vibe BP come across as was crafted by IG and plays into BP's brand. Unlike other groups, BP really are different in the sense that they have a severe lack of songs in the 4 years they've been active as group. Despite this, they're popular and the very few releases they have seem to have a ton of views. I guess they also don't come across relatable due to them wearing expensive fashion brands, attending prestigious fashion week events and collabs with A-list female solo artists play into this. Some people look at BP's life as models as desirable as they have so much hype and wealth. Even with such a small discography. Overall, I think it works in the company's favor as they've probably wanted BP to come across this way since debut, as BP were labeled as the pretty 2NE1 by IG himself. It sucks for the fans standing a group that comebacks once a year, but it garners hype. It is too late for Twice to gain individual popularity once the group is on hiatus in the future. I mean, it's kinda too late for them to gain individual fanbase, especially from general public. I know that Jip didn't give Twice any solo project during their time in the group is because he didn't want to create any Suzy case all over again, which is I believe is stupid as it is not Suzy's fault. The entire fault should go to Jip management for mishandling the situation. Jip should follow on how SM gives chance to their girl groups on exploring individual activities while still active in a group. Example. Yuna is so popular back then, she still is, but her popularity never overshadowed SNSD, as the other members are already have their own individual project, Tian with Ost, Tiffany and Sunny doing musicals, the others with acting, variety and more. They are gaining their own individual popularity to the point that they don't need to say their group name when they introduce themselves, even when they're still active as a group. I know that Twice have their own individual fan base, and it is huge, but my concern is more on how those people didn't familiar with K-pop can accept them as their own individually. Yeah, I agree to some extent. In my opinion, no offense, but I honestly don't see many of the Twice members going solo once they do disband. They, like you said, are popular as a group. Their main image is OT9, and that's what the GP are used to. Once they break away from this image, it would be difficult for them to make a name for themselves as individuals. Twice are 5 years old, and most of the members haven't had many solo endeavors, so I don't see it changing anytime soon. Considering Twice are a senior group, now would be the perfect time to allow the members to do what they want. Truthfully, I think JIP is better at managing groups, which is why I assume the members haven't done much on their own, or perhaps they may just not want to. Lastly, the only member I see being successful, obviously I don't know the future, but Nayeon shows the most potential. She's popular and is a jack of all trades. Lastly, I don't think most of the Twice members will go solo, considering JIP doesn't manage soloists well, and breaking away from their Twice image would be interesting to see, so I don't see it happening. Okay, for starters, I don't spread hate or anything like that for the matter. Nobody, including Shuhua, deserves hate. This issue is so dumb, but it's been bugging me for quite a while now. Sorry if I sound childish, this is of course just a rant to get off my chest. I've never been the type of person to be bitter or resent an idol, but I've found myself annoyed by Shuhua. It's mostly because I feel like so many young, talented trainees never get the opportunities that she does. Yet she can't even sing on key. I have watched various encore videos and live singing videos, and I don't understand how she can't even hit the notes that anyone without training could do. And fans keep making excuses like she's tired, she'll learn, it's just because it's a different language, our poor baby Shushu, word for word. Of course, she can learn. But the thing is, the industry has no time for people to learn. We're not going to wait for you to improve. There are so many trainees much better than you who don't get the chance to debut in such a great group, and yet you are here and you're consistently off key? Don't hit me with the she's just tired. Everyone's tired. And this is Shuhua's career, she's making money off this, so can't she at least hit the right notes while standing still? Worst of all, fans started hating on Soyeon. You'll see it in every comment section, Soyeon hates Shuhua and is a bully yada yada. What pisses me off is the fact that it's not the other members' fault that Shuhua, in terms of skill, is not competent enough. It's not Soyeon's fault that Shuhua struggles to sing on key. Soyeon's not even my bias, but the hate is pissing me off. I guess this is connected to the amount of hate I see in every comment section directed towards Soyeon by iFans who think they are so superior to fans and don't hate on others. All this hate isn't Shuhua's fault, of course. But they consistently use Shuhua to hate on Soyeon and say Shuhua is so talented, Soyeon's voice is so annoying, all her lines should be given to Shuhua. I'm sorry, but I doubt Shuhua would be able to sing those lines properly if she can't handle her own lines. Shuhua kind of gained attention from being the underdog of sorts and not having lines. That's the only reason why I had even heard of her in the first place. So she benefited off this. First of all, I agree. And this opinion in itself might be a little bit of a hot take for some of you. I listen to Idol on a more casual listener stance level. And their music is fine for the most part. Shuhua, in particular, seems like a lovely woman. But I won't deny the fact that she isn't exactly the most skilled member of the group. Inevitably, though, the members that aren't the most talented can be put on the back burner. At times by the company, etc. I think as a fans there's not much we can do. And hating on companies isn't going to do much. That being said, Shuhua improving skill-wise is solely down to herself. She's a grown woman and isn't a baby. The rumors about members helping her improve is great, but ultimately improvement, in my opinion, comes down to you as a person. Since debut, it's clear her singing hasn't been up to scratch and it hasn't improved very much. However, it doesn't seem like this is the case. The whole underdog syndrome is another topic itself, and I went into further depth about this topic on one of my previous videos. It will be linked on the end card. Moreover, Shuhua is seen as an underdog because her talent is scarce in comparison to other members. So fans compensate this by seeing her seen as a victim. Overall, Shuhua does need to improve in a lot of areas. And considering idol aren't rookies or anything, there's no excuse at this point. The company is also partly to blame why they decided to debut a foreign trainee. Beginner-level Korean is beyond me. The other foreign members seem more well-adjusted to the Korean industry, whereas with Shuhua not so much. Her Korean isn't the best, her dancing is decent. Seeing as companies are at the forefront when it comes to picking trainees that debut, and it's too late now. But having her train longer in the company etc. would have benefited her better. And it's a shame because Shuhua truly debuted far too early. I do not hate Lisa and I do not hate on her either. This isn't a hate post because I have never said anything negative about Lisa and never will. I support Lisa with all my heart. I don't want her to leave Blackpink. I like her dancing and rap. Okay. Now on to the explanation. I just don't click with Lisa like I do with the rest of the members. When I first started standing Blackpink I did. I adored Lisa. But the things that changed that were her stans. I would get Lisa videos thrown at me, and since the majority of Blinks are Lisa biased, all I ever heard about was Lisa. With that, I'm not much of a fan of super over-the-top and forced personalities. It just seems like Lisa is forcing herself to be this babyish, bubbly, and loud person when she's not. I really enjoyed her in the You Show thing because it really showed her true self, and I love that side of Lisa. It somehow makes me uncomfortable, so see a grown woman who has true emotions, forcing herself into this land of sunshine, rainbows, and kid-like features when that isn't who she is. I think when Lisa dances it also shows that. Overall, I don't hate Lisa. I just dislike her. Again, I'm not bashing or hating on Lisa at all. I'm half and half in this opinion. I agree because I'll admit Lisa the whole persona stick she puts on can get overbearing at times. The EQ and cute faces and noises have never appealed to me except a few idols. Wink wink haha. I'm sure Lisa is putting on a persona and everything, but it does get old at times, but then again cute actions and words are something that goes hand in hand with the Korean industry. Even though I didn't watch Itzy, I've seen a couple of clips online and she was a lot more natural and easygoing. I truly think this opinion doesn't necessarily apply to solely BP. Seeing as every idol can put on or exaggerate certain personas by their companies. BP, in particular, thrives on individualism, desirability, and self-insertion, which is another full-fledged topic in itself. Moreover, I think if Lisa's persona was to tone down a little, then it would be a lot more bearable and entertaining. If you get what I mean haha. I'm really annoyed by the Somi situation. I'm not that big of a Somi stan, but I got really mad when I saw the teasers for her new comeback. Like, is she really coming back with one song again? She's been missing for more than a year now, and she's coming back with one song, and it's not even a mini album or a pre-release single. She was so popular after 16 ended, then she placed first on Produce 101 and she became even more popular after that. With her talent, personality and her big fanbase, imagine how big she could have made it if she was properly promoted after IOI, but Jip did her dirty and locked her in the basement. Chungha wasn't even that popular in IOI, but she's one of the top female soloists now, just because she was properly managed. Why did every IOI member get in a group or debut solo but not Somi? When she moved to TBL everyone thought that we'll finally see her true potential that Jip was hiding, but no. She debuted with only 2 songs after being gone for a really long time, and fans who were anticipating her debut were disappointed. In her I Am Somi show she teased something about a self-written song. She said how well she's treated by the company. She had a whole show about her, and I was like finally we're getting some content. And now she's coming back with only one song again written by Teddy. How is that a good treatment? It's been 5 years since she was introduced to the public, and she still hasn't made her big hit. She only has 3 songs and I feel like she's wasting her potential, and her fans are really tired of waiting. Yeah, I agree. I think, no offense, her first mistake was joining the black label. Yeah, they may be considerably better than IG, but they're still affiliated with IG. IG is notoriously known for stifling his female groups in particular. Poor Somi will only have a small amount of songs. To be honest, I understand why people questioned why she left Jip. From a musical stance she would have far more songs by now, but I guess Black Label allows her to have creative freedom, but 1 or 2 songs after a year is so small. TBH also noteworthy, Somi has been a soloist for a year and a couple months now and only has 2 songs. Even with her upcoming comeback, a lot of people are speculating she'll release 1 or 2 B-sides tracks alongside her title track. At the moment I'm not sure if the TBL is the company for her. Like I stated before, it seems like a perfect balance for her, but music-wise I'm not exactly convinced just yet. CLC aren't as good as their fans wish they were. All of their "if this was Blackpink stan TWT would eat this up" takes are so annoying. Your faves didn't flop because of stan TWT, your faves flopped because their most popular member is racist and their music is mediocre. This opinion is another spicy one. And woo, it's another logical hot take. I will say that I agree to an extent. CLC truthfully haven't gained much traction in Korea. And that's not entirely their fault. There's slight mismanagement at the beginning of their career and their constant concept switch-ups. And the group not really having a quote-unquote stan attractor that can lure in new fans all play a large factor into the group's unpopularity. Their music is fine, and they do have some good songs here and there. But I do have to agree that nothing about their music particularly sticks out. And with such an oversaturated industry, having just good or average pop songs just won't cut it. Regarding Soren's problematic behavior in the past, that is a whole other topic that I won't indulge in this particular video. I may make a video on the topic of California and the nuances behind the subject. But Soren's whole ordeal was super bad, and I have definitely distanced myself from her ever since the event took place. So yeah, okay guys. That was the video. If you enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Coming very soon. Also comment below which opinion you agreed with and which one you didn't. Make sure to leave your reasonings down below, as I am super curious. Okay then, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are having a great day or evening. I certainly am. Always make sure to smile and feel happy inside and out, because that's what we all deserve. Today is nice and warm, a perfect day to grin and do something you enjoy doing. Okay then, see you all very soon. Thank you for all the love.